Ever since his release 2 years ago, Lifeweaver has been a subject of discussion for many reasons, but the main reason has always been that he's simply just not as good as the other supports. Even with his perks and a few changes here and there to his kit, like his healing charging passively, he offers nothing that other supports can't offer, and he's just kinda synonymous with being a troll pick. Kinda like how some people treat Mercy in the higher ranks. This is the one time where it genuinely isn't a skill issue. You could be an absolute god on every other support, making ML7 look like he's a bronze player and still struggle on Lifeweaver because he flat out just sucks. But why is this? Surely it can't just be that the other supports are simply better than him in every way, shape and form, can it? Well, in this video I'm going to go over why Lifeweaver is as flawed as he is from a character design perspective. Not in the artistic way, I have absolutely no gripes with that. I like how he looks and some of his skins are absolutely gorgeous, but I'm purely dissecting him in terms of his mechanics. And if you want more content like this, then please consider subscribing because there's a few more heroes that I'd like to dissect when it comes to their mechanics. Looking at you, Mauga. Right, let's just jump straight in and look at his kit. It's pretty book standard. Petal lets you either A, escape the fight on the vertical axis, or B, simply take high ground and set up an angle. Not only does this apply to both you and your teammates, but it also applies to the enemy team, because they can trigger your Petal and use it for themselves if they really want to. Now, would I call this a flaw? Not really. Out of all of his kit, Petal is probably one of the things that produces the least cause for concern. But when weighed up against abilities like Juno's double jump and hover, it seems kinda bad because even though it's classed as a mobility ability, it isn't all that mobile and you can still get dived on it. It's simply an elevator. It goes up and then it goes back down. If I'm on Winston, I will be jumping up there to secure the kill just to make sure you don't get your ult on the field. Speaking of his ult, it's awful. Honestly, I just have no words for it. It's literally just a deployable Zenyatta Transcendence, which on paper seems kinda nice because it's a lot of healing, but then you realize the tree can be damaged and ultimately just completely destroyed. Sure, if you're cunning enough, you can use it to block doorways and force a C9 on some maps, but this is very rarely used. I think if the team at Blizzard were to rework Lifeweaver, his ult would see a major change because of exactly what I just said. It is just a deployable Zenyatta Transcendence that spawns in a pillar with a health bar, technically acting as a destructible environment. And people say Marvel Rivals did it first in the hero shooter genre. In all seriousness though, it is crap and it needs to be changed for something much better. And now to discuss the most controversial part of his kit, Life Grip. It's kinda like Marmite, you either hate it or you love it. Me, personally, I'm a bit on the fence about it. When used correctly, in clutch situations and adapting positioning etc, it can be super handy. Especially if you're playing hit scan and you get gripped onto the high ground because it means you're safe and have a better angle on the enemy team. This honestly very rarely happens, and Life Grip instead ends up getting you killed because your Lifeweaver panics when getting dived and grips you to him, forcing you to kite, only you're not ready to do that, and 9 times out of 10 you'll end up getting absolutely destroyed by the enemy tank. The thing is, it's not an easy thing to fix, because how useful it is solely up to the player. You could have a good Lifeweaver who knows when to grip and generally plays well with the rest of the team, or you could have a bad Lifeweaver who plays stats and would rather sacrifice you than himself because of some bullshit excuse like he has to stay alive to heal the rest of the team. We both know that is a lie. He can't do that. It's almost as if he has movement abilities that let him live slightly longer when he's being dived in the backline. Oh, yeah, they're also not really that good. I briefly talked about his Petal being used for vertical movement before, but he also has a dash ability kind of like Hanzo's where he can propel himself forwards on a double jump. This is actually decent, as you can get out of clutch situations with it, but you honestly might as well just play Juno if you're worried about getting dived and not having the movement to get out. That is the main problem with him. Everything that he does, another hero does 100 times better. His movement? Juno has better movement, both vertically and horizontally. His ult? Zenyatta has a better ult, whilst at its core functioning the exact same as Lifeweaver's. It's just got more movement, so you can actually use it in a rush or a dive. Hell, you can even argue that Juno's ult is the exact same at base value because it has insane healing like his ult, with the added damage boost on top to make it more unique. Sure, it moves in a straight line, but it functions near enough the same. It's honestly embarrassing that we can make the statement Juno is just Lifeweaver but better and without the life grip, because that's all he is now. The only reason to play him is the gimmick of the life grab. But that just about does it for this video. Now, this isn't meant to be a hit piece on Lifeweaver, it's meant to raise awareness about how much of a nothing character he is now that we have heroes like Juno that make him a pointless pick. It is quite literally that I don't want to play with you anymore scene from Toy Story. The truth is that Blizzard are getting lazy with their character designs when it comes to mechanics because they're running out of ideas. What does Lifeweaver bring to the table that other supports don't have, other than life grab? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. If you said nothing,
you're goddamn right.
Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Feel free to voice your opinions in the comments as usual because I love reading and interacting with what you guys think about these things. It's how we grow this community, through discussion. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.